Consider you have a page, and in your page you have a column, and in your column you have a container with 200 and 200 width and height. And we send some color to that. You can see the result is in here. But I want to add some child for that. Child, another container, and the width is 100 and height is 100. I send the color for that, colors.red, and save, and you can see all the container is changed color and change it to red, not 100. And why this happened? I need only 100 of my container changed to red. This happened because you need to specify this container is need to be where in this container. For do that, for example, you can wrap it with column. And you can see, because column has alignment. You know that, for example, in here, main axis alignment is default, is center. For example, I can send it to end. You can see. And because column has a default alignment, my container size is okay and it's worked. But it's not good to use column to create something like that. You can wrap your column with align. And align widget has an alignment, and alignment for default is center. You can see. You can change alignment. And you can see. But better solution, without any extra widget, I want to remove that and add alignment to my container. Alignment dot left. And you can see it's work. If I comment this, you can see we don't have any alignment, and container is my whole another container. All right. In here, I want to create another page and add this body to, for example, component type. This is a page. Let's copy this and add body. Sorry, body. Add this is here. Yeah, and it's work. And I can change my end page, for example, component type. Component type page. And you can see I'm in component type page and I have a same widget. But I don't want to do copy and paste. We know that we want to create dry code. We don't want to repeat ourselves, okay? And for that, I can create, for example, a method in here. I want to cut it is cut. I want to create a global function, top load function, for example, my container, and in here I want to return my widgets, okay? And here I want to return a widget. Widget type is, my return type is widget, and very simply I can add my container. And in component type, very simple, I can add my container. And everything works. It's very useful, and I create a method and prevent duplicate code. But we have some problem. For example, I want to consider and replace 200 with half size of width of widget. And we know that for do that, we can access media query.of and need context. Okay, dot size dot width. And here I have a final width, and we know that we need a context, and in here I don't have context. Okay, I need the refactor. We need context, and here I can put size divide by 2. Let's divide by 2. We need to change everywhere we use this method. For example, context and context and you see that it has some change in here. This is one of the problem of using helper method instead of widget or a stateless or stateful widget. We use this twice, but you can consider, for example, we have lots of methods and we need to change and refactor all of them. It's one of the issues of that. And you can consider if I want to change state in here, for example, I use setState in my method. When we run setState in this method, whole of these widgets and whole of my page are changed and rebuilt, and it's not good for performance. And to do that, we can use and create a stateless or a stateful widgets. For example, container item dot stateless widgets container item, and in here I can cut all of them and return here. I'm sorry, here, and I can remove these. And you can see when you create another stateless or stateful widget, you have a context, and you have a good context. You have a one context and it's true context. You can use this, remove your method, and in here you can simply just add container item, and in your container types you can use container item. Very, very simple. And you can also do lots of things in here and very independent to your whole page. When you are creating a Flutter app, you have a MaterialApp for root widgets, and one of property of them is a builder. You can use builder and wrap whole page you have in your application with this. For example, I can return, for example, a stack, and in here I have a children, and one of my children is child. You can see I have a child in here, and child, if it's null, I wanna add my container, the empty container, and after that, I want to create a floating action button. As you can see, in here, I have a floating action button. If I change my home, for example, align or container T, and you can see, I have these floating action button in all of my routes and in all of my pages. This is useful, for example, in some case you need to wrap all of your widgets and all of your pages with another widget, but this is a very simple solution. If you don't use that, you have to add your parent widget in all of your widgets in your application and take a time. One of the use case that I used recently in one of my projects is when you have a localization in your application. For example, you have an Arabic language and English language, and you want to change your font family of application. You know that in theme data, you have a font family, and you can pass your font family here. But if you want to check what is your current language, you need check with that. For example, localization dot alt lookup is context, and after that you have a language code. You can check your current locale and your current language with this line, but if you do this in here, you get an error, and you can check in here, for example, the check language code. For example, this is final code. You can't do this. You can't do this code. For example, equal to Arabic, use a font. Otherwise, use another. Okay. you can do this, but you have error. And you have to check this in here because you don't have access localization before MaterialApp create. And to do that, you can create your code in here and wrap your children in here. I have child, and you can wrap all of that with theme child. Yeah, this is my child, and your theme data. Theme data, yeah, data, and you can get your theme data from your context. You have context, and this context, it's not this context. This context is for each page you have, and you can check language code with that. Use a ScrollController to handle each scroll widget activity. For example, you can add a ScrollController for your single child scroll view and change your offset of your position. Or you can use a ScrollController and listen to user scroll, and for example, if user goes to end of a scroll, load new page. To do that, you can create your ScrollController and pass to your widget. For example, you can pass to your list view or single child scroll view and manage your scroll widget. We know that with media query, we can handle our display and check width, height, and something like this. We have 3 property in media query that's called viewInsets, viewPadding, and padding. The type of these is edge insets. We see edge insets when we use padding widget or container padding or margin. And we know that with this class, we can handle top, right, left, and bottom space and size, and we can pass size to that. We see that in each device, we have some space in top or bottom. You can calculate this space and achieve this space with viewPadding. But this space is not completely shown to user because maybe we have times or battery or something like this, and this space is considered in viewPadding. But when we have a viewInsets, that means in most of the time, maybe the keyboard is up. And when we have a keyboard up, we don't see anything because it's completely invisible behind the keyboard. And this space and the size of keyboard is accessible in viewInsets. But what is padding? You can consider, for example, we have 30 pixels in bottom viewPadding, and after keyboard up, still viewPadding is 30, but padding convert 30 to 0 because we don't have any padding in bottom, because viewInsets and keyboard use this padding and use this space to show the keyboard, and in here we don't have any padding in bottom of device.